So, okay. Um, so we're working on the um we're able to do shift that, right? We're still working on the control key. Okay, where's input? There's input. Okay, so I'll be indexing into the selected rooms. That's right. Okay, I need to bring up the conversation though that I had yesterday, which was this one. No, this one. Okay. Dictionary, that's why I'm checking for null. For room and rooms to select. Var room to select equals selected rooms room. If not, room to select. Selected rooms equals room. Dictionary room. Add it here. Okay. So room entry. Selected rooms. Okay. If room entry. Room is already selected. Uh, room entry selected equals false. Room menu update remove. Else room's not selected. And actually, I can just copy that, I think, and it should just work. Uh, and we're gonna copy. I'm actually gonna copy that code and stick that in there. And we're going. I hate it when it does that. Hopefully, it's fixed in the Redot 4.4, which I'm not sure if they're up to a stable version just yet. So I don't know. Um, let's see some here. Input, input, input. This adds the actual room to selected rooms. Okay. Let's put this in here though first. And tab, tab, tab. Control S. Okay. Alright, the pass there is fine. I actually don't need the pass. I just put the there sometimes placeholder. Um, um, hold on just a second, please. Yeah, he's starting to hear me now, so I have to be even quieter, even though my room's closed right now. So I have to try to be a little bit quiet. He's actually going into his room, so I probably don't need to be as quiet as I think I do, but I might as well, considering that it's now become a thing. It didn't used to be a thing, or at least he didn't used to tell me it was a thing. So kind of fed up a little bit. Um, all right. Well, hopefully I'm loud enough for you to hear. Or it picks up loud enough for you to hear. Here, let's check in chat. Hey, Rook. I'll say it in chat too, though. Good morning, Rook. And welcome everyone else. Okay, now, okay, so let's see here now. So this is basically like a clarification of what I was saying yesterday. So it's going to go through the rooms to select, right? Um, and the room ID is just it's a string ID. Then room entry equals. Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, right. So you're going to check by you're going to check to see if the room is in there. If it's legit, if it's not null, like if room entry, then we deselect it, we update the highlight, then we remove it from selected rooms. However, if it's not in there, room's not in there, it's going to um, room not selected. Wait. If room entry is null, um, okay. Does that correspond with what I said? You know, now I'm a little bit confused now. For room and rooms to select, right? Room to select equals selected rooms room. Not room to select. Um, selected rooms equals if room to select is invalid, if that's an invalid room, then we need to add it. Selected rooms equals room dictionary room. Rooms equals room dictionary room. Right here. It's selected as true. Huh, okay. I don't know if the slightly cleaned up version is correct though. Okay, so the idea is we're going to check the room entry. If it's already there, then we're going to deselect it because we're toggling. That's a toggle right there. Okay, we're going to remove it from selected rooms. Now, however, if room entry is null, in other words, it doesn't selected rooms does not have the room in there. If it's not already in there, then we want to we're gonna add this room to um okay. That's just a weird the way it showed it. That's not exactly how I would do it. So what I would do here is um and I have to assume that the room is in there. But so it's not in selected rooms. So that means we need um okay. I get what it did. Um it just kind of did things backwards, I guess. Room ref equals rooms dictionary. Okay, and we're just going to say if room ref that. And actually, room ref is not what I'd use, but we'll do that. Else print room is not we'll say room ID plus not a valid room. It's not in the rooms dictionary. Like so. That way we get a little bit defensive there. Pardon me. Selected room. I guess this works, but the name is not what I would put in here. So um, I'll just leave it. If it works, I'm just gonna leave it, I guess. Okay, so let's just run this, I guess, and see if it airs out on me. Property or key on base object of type dictionary. Okay. I would have thought it would just make it invalid. No, I have to actually check to see if it's actually in there, because it may not be in there. Okay, let's stop that. Um, because okay, so this is going through the list of IDs, and this is actually the selected rooms dictionary itself. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to say equals null, and then I'm going to go ahead and say if selected rooms dot has key as room ID. Okay, that room entry equals selected rooms room ID room.id. So Okay, there. Oh, because it's an underscore item of me. Okay. If selected rooms has room ID, room entry equals selected rooms ID. If room entry, then do all of this stuff. Else. And this is going to be the same way. Now, it'll be included in there, but we're going to say var room ref equals null first. And we're going to say this, but we're going to do it this way. It rooms it has room ID, then we're going to do this. And then here, if room ref is not in the rooms dictionary, and that should work. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if it screws up on us now. Okay, still, okay. Do control. Try this again. Okay, we got main menu. We still have main menu. Okay, for some reason that's not working. Control, right? Okay. Probably because we are for ID and rooms to select. Okay. I guess we need an if else. So I need an else in here. Else. I need one of these. Then I need now that has nothing to do with the rest of these rooms. So that means that right, this should be tabbed in. This should be so. It's probably a better way to refactor it later, I think, because it's kind of makes it a little bit unwieldy, even though it's not that long or hard to understand. We're gonna do that. So this is regular selection here, right? This is control without mod. This is neither. If control mod and not shift mod. If shift mod and not control mod, do this. And if neither one of them just cleared the selection entirely. I think this will work. This seems a little, a little tricky or whatever, but I think we'll have it. Okay, we're gonna do shift. Okay, we're gonna do control, control, control. And Bob's your uncle. Do that. Toggled. Rooms selected. Nothing. It's weird. Why there's a weird space in there? Okay, where is the room selected being printed? Okay, that's just that. So, okay, that way. All right, let's try this. See, that has all three. No, it has two of them. That has all three. Uh-oh. Still doing the weirdness. It's not supposed to deselect any of them. See what I mean? It's possible I could treat these separate deals. Because it's not supposed to toggle. All right, I'm gonna copy this portion. I'm gonna see if ChatGPT can help me out. Okay, so I've implemented this code. And it's deselecting selecting when shift is down. Um, some previously selected rooms instead of just adding on. No modifiers, clears everything, selects just the current drag selection. Control only toggles rooms and the rooms to select, shift or any other case. The else block runs, which currently selects all in rooms to select and then clears rooms to select. The problem is that when shift is held, it still falls into the else block, which effectively selects the room but doesn't respect previously selected ones. To depending on your update highlight logic. Some flags may get overwritten or unset. More precise logic would be no modifiers, clear selection, select new ones. Shift only, add to existing selection, don't deselect anything. Control only, toggle selection. Shift plus control, you can define behavior if needed, maybe toggle without clearing anything. So right now your else is to catch all and doesn't differentiate between shift only and no modifiers. Else if shift mod and not control mod, just add new rooms. Else else if control mod and not, including shift only. No, I don't want you to do that because it turns out not to work sometimes and I don't learn anything from that. Okay, so let us go uh shift mod, not control mod. Not shift mod, not control mod. Control mod and not shift mod. There's still a problem with that though. Now, oh yeah, when you let up. So LF is probably alright. So let's just go ahead and make this and LF that. Um, it's a little tricky. Hmm, a little tricky. Actually, this is the reason I had this like this. I didn't have an LF on there because if you okay, if you're not holding control or shift, you clear it like normal. And then this is actually the else problem in here. So else shouldn't be else in here. This isn't gonna work either, but I want to see what it does just so I can get like an idea. Be weird if it doesn't work at all now. Okay, that does work. Okay, shift. Okay, control. Control does nothing. This only clears if none of them are pressed. I'm gonna try moving this around. Still might totally not work, but well, we're gonna put this before rooms to select, but after the rest of this other code here. That way, this should still act like it's been acting, and then the toggle should be after the fact, because this actually manipulates selected rooms and all that. So, we'll see what this does. And that's there we go. That's okay. Okay, actually, I need to do the thing here. This should just toggle these three. In other words, the first one should remain on, the two middle ones should turn off, and the last one should turn on. If I do this right. So somehow that's not toggling. Why is that not toggling? Okay, almost working. I almost should just do. I almost should make sure and not have them as standalone deals in a way. It would be duplicate code, but it would make things like kind of clear. Like I said, this should toggle these ones, and it's not doing it. Why is it not toggling them? Wait. Let's do something here. I bet rooms to select. I'll put the rooms to select up here. Now, it might act even weirder, but we'll try it. It's just adding controls, adding. So really my toggle logic isn't actually working. Maybe even if it means duplicating code, I should duplicate code. Um, okay, we're gonna put a breakpoint in here, right about. Well, we'll put a breakpoint in here, and we'll run it. We'll do this. We'll do control, and we'll do this. And then what we're going to do here is rooms to select. Rooms to select. Are we modifying rooms to select? Not modifying rooms to select. Okay. So let's see here. Where is rooms? Rooms to select. There's a array. Okay. So Enchanted Lands 1 here at home, right? Not main menu. That's correct. So it's got all three of them into the deal. Now, uh, okay, debug, step over. Okay, so we're gonna F10 it. Okay. Can I look at the state that this was in? Okay, good. Again. Okay, so it's gonna be these three. Okay. Now these are in selected rooms. These are in there. This one is not. If it's not, we need to add it. So we're gonna see if it does that. These are in it. So Enchanted Lands 1 is inside it. So room ID is Enchanted Lands. So let's go ahead and we're gonna F10. If it has, selected rooms already has Enchanted Lands, the first Enchanted Lands entry. Room entry equals that. Okay, F10. If room entry is false, update highlight, selected rooms, erase. There. Okay, so we're going to the next one, right? The next one is Enchanted Lands _1. So we do the same thing. Check it. It's in there. We remove it from selected rooms. Okay. So now we go to this one. And this is Hebert Home. Hebert Home should not be in there. Hebert Home should not be in selected rooms. What? That's because selected rooms is modified up there, huh? Okay, let's stop it. We're gonna have to debug again. I have to do it slightly different though. Hubert Holmes should not be in there. Okay, I get it. So what's happening is rooms to select gets added above. It's where it's where I select this. I drag the box over it. I find the overlapping rooms. Hubert Home is in the overlapping rooms, so it's going to add to that. The reason why it was gone, why the other room was gone, is because I had it remove it from selected rooms, but Hubert Home was still there, even though it's not supposed to be there. Rooms to select. No, it shouldn't be. Oh. Uh, Maybe this should be on top. Now it's gonna sound weird, but maybe it should be the first thing. Shouldn't rely so much on order. That means probably bad programming on my part, I suppose. But we're gonna do all this first. So this is gonna happen first. And because it's modifying selected rooms, that should happen first. So the toggle thing is going to happen first, and then yeah, this won't work either. But I'm gonna play it just to see, play it through just to see if it does anything. Nope, it just adds to it. Okay. Maybe what I should do is I should try to, uh, I should rethink this with the rooms to select, and I should remove items from rooms to select. Before doing any like adding, and I should go ahead and add like a normal here, right? For ID and rooms, to select selected rooms, ID equals that, which adds it to selected rooms, right? So this would still be in there like a normal, and I shouldn't try to do the selection otherwise, right? So I have to think about not modifying. You don't modify selected rooms at all. Think for a second. Okay, so what if I clear it every time? What if I clear it on every loop, right? So all this code is just like it always is. The control toggle is not, right? So you clear selection every time you let up on the mouse, right? And you can select new deals. Now, you selected them, but by the time you get here, they're already selected. And so then you mess with the selected IDs list before actually putting them in the selected rooms dictionary. In this way, okay, I'm gonna, I don't want you to suggest any code, but tell me if this sounds like how I should be doing it. So basically, I tried many different ways and it's not working right. I think partly because I'm modifying selected rooms in the if control not shift block, and really you want to modify the, I'll say I want to modify it, and really I want to modify the rooms to select list. So clear all selected rooms. Actually, maybe you clear room IDs. No, you don't clear the room IDs list because that's what happens when you select them. You select them, it stays in the list. So you want the list to be there, but then you only want to modify it when you need to. So clear all selected rooms every loop. Every time the user lets up on the mouse button. Mouse button. Then check the selected rooms for each ID. And if not there, add and if there, check the selected rooms for each ID. Room for each ID. If the ID is not in the selected rooms dictionary, Okay. Check for the control not shift block. Then check to see if each ID is in the selected rooms dictionary. If it's not, then add it, and if it is already, no. Okay, wait. Selected rooms dictionary. If it already exists in the dictionary, only remove it from the rooms to select it. And if the ID is not in the selected rooms dictionary, add it to the rooms to select list. Now, when we're done, we simply if we're done, we simply add all of those rooms in the list into the dictionary. Do I make sense? It'll probably be able to understand it. Yes, that makes sense conceptually. You're describing essentially severing the temporary selection during the drag from the permanent selection state. At drag in near the current, clear the current highlights of the temporary selection. Check control. Iterate through the drag rooms to select. If a room is already in the selected room, just remove it from the room select so it won't get re-added. If it's not in the selected rooms, keep it in the rooms to select so it can be added. Well, you're gonna add it if it's not in selected room. No, that's right. You're not gonna do anything to it if it's there. You're just gonna remove it if it's already there. If it's already there, you're just gonna remove it. You're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna change anything if it is in there or if it's not in there. This way, you toggle correctly when control is pressed. You don't accidentally deselect rooms you didn't drag over. You keep rooms to select as temporary working set for the current drag, and selected rooms as authoritative selection. That's clean and should solve the problem you're running into with shift control combinations. The key is not modifying selected rooms while you're still iterating through rooms to select, because it can easily cause overwrites or inconsistent state. If you follow that flow, okay, one thing I didn't account for is that rooms to select is going to be in a loop, and I probably shouldn't remove it from the list until after the loop is finished. And even though it's starting to get convoluted, I might need a second list that actually is the one that adds rooms to the selected rooms dictionary. Determine what should be added or removed, storing those IDs in a separate temporary list or two lists, one for additions, one for removals. After the loop, process the temporary list to update selected rooms and or rooms to select. This keeps your iterations predictable, avoids mid-loop side effects, and clearly separates the decision phase from the update phase. Um, okay, so what is what word here? I think let's see. I think I cleared Control Shift, or did I just change all of that? Because it was called something else and it had a prefix, and I um pending. There we go. I even left those in, those pendings. Okay. Uh, so if I do two lists, what what is a good name for the other rooms to select list? And actually, I can make that a local variable because it doesn't need to be a class level variable because I don't need to uh, check it outside of that. I just need to create a temporary list for adding rooms to add. These are rooms that will be added to selected rooms. Pending selection. Newly selected rooms. Uh, Selection buffer. Rooms to select and rooms to add. Perfect. And rooms to add can just be a function level variable. Doesn't need to be customizable because it's recreated every time and only temporary. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like I'm cutting it close, like I always am. So I don't know if I'll get this done today. Oh, all right. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. Whoops. See, I wonder if you can. I wonder if I could select this and it would select the whole function. Wait. It didn't include that in the block. Okay, so let's do that. Control C, and I'm just gonna see if it'll work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Control V. And yes, it does. Very nice. Very nice. We're gonna call this input old. Oop. Let's input old, and then there we go. This is input, and that's input old. It's the same code, so that way I can go ahead and I can modify this the way I want it to. Okay, so I'm gonna do this thing here. Okay, and that's okay. So we're not going to worry about this. In fact, I can probably do, this can be just the normal deal. This is going to happen every time. So this is going to work like normal. Okay. And we are going to go ahead and we're gonna Control K this so that when I run it, it runs and it doesn't matter about control or anything. It just does it, right? Okay. And it still does this. Still does that. Okay, good. Okay, so control. Okay, we're gonna actually just making sure that worked anyways. So what we're gonna do here now is we are going to say var rooms to add on array string equals that. Right? Okay. The rooms to add is empty. Now, for room ID and rooms to select, our room selected rooms has room ID. We don't want to do this, right? We don't want. Okay, so this is going to be a toggle, right? So if the room is already in there, we are going to toggle it off. We're going to say, okay, I'm going to do it backwards because it makes more sense to write the code up top and then not do anything if it doesn't have any code. So not, if it doesn't have that, okay. Room entry equals select rooms, no. I wish there's a way to say if selected rooms does not have. In other words, I can say not, but in my mind, backwards, it reads wrong. Um, okay, if it doesn't have the room ID in it, oh, right, if it doesn't, okay. If it doesn't, okay, wait. I'm just confusing myself basically. So, we're not going to add it to rooms to add. So selected rooms already has a room. We need to deselect it. In order to deselect it, okay, that's why that also means that in there I'm going to have to, oh, clear selection. This does everything false. So, okay, that's fine. Okay. So if it doesn't have the room ID, selected rooms is not in there, right? So there's a room ID list. Okay. So okay, so if you do the first three, right? Main menu, whatever, uh, Enchanted Lands 1. But then you add whatever the next one was, Enchanted Lands 2 or something. I forget which one it was. Um, okay. If it's not in selected rooms, then we okay, right. So if it's not in selected rooms, that means it's off. If it's off, that means we need to turn it on. In other words, we need to select it. So what we say is we say rooms to add. And I guess we can say equals room ID, like so. Oh, wait. Oh, append. Of course, what am I thinking? Rooms to add append room ID. So, okay. Here, let's actually, I'm gonna take the rest of this here, and just Control K it temporarily. Um, and so that's all we're doing. So all we're doing is we're just adding rooms, and we're not adding rooms that are already in there. If they're already in there, the rooms to add's not in there. And then later on, we go instead of selected rooms, we do rooms to add. So in fact, rooms to add needs to be at the top level, not just. I mean, it can still be temporary, but at the top level here, that. So that way, I can do rooms to add down here. For ID and rooms to add, selected rooms ID equals rooms.dictionary ID. Rooms it has ID. Print else print uh, ID plus if not in the rooms dictionary. That's just a little debug thing. Room in selected room values. Room says select equals true. Room that update highlight. That's all normal. And then this here essentially, I actually don't need to clear it, but I'll clear it anyways. Let's do rooms to add clear. Okay. So this actually becomes a whole lot simpler, I think. Well, okay, so then we're gonna have to do a um, yeah, we're gonna have to just straight up add here. We're gonna add all the rooms. Um, and they'll be clear. But if we do an elif, right? L if um elif uh, not control mod and shift mod like that. And then what we do is right, expected end, right? I'm working on that. For room ID in rooms to select wait. Let's not do this just yet. Oh, what did I do? Home? Okay, fine. Let's get rid of that. And we're gonna assume that now shift is not gonna work, but I want to see if this works. In fact, let's just take this, and in fact, we're probably gonna dump that. But let's go ahead and take this just to make it shorter. Shoot, it's already 3:30. Doggone it! I'm just this close, of course. This. All right. So this actually makes it a lot quicker, right? Then I can do the two things, and that is what I can do is do not a not control mod, but if you do in a shift mod, so shift will preempt control. So if you have shift and control together, then it's just going to add on. I could do it the other way. It doesn't really matter exactly. It's just that I'll be handling it. So, but I'll worry about that just in a sec. We're going to try this first just to see if it does what I think it should do, which it may not do, of course. Okay. It didn't even add those at all. It did there. Okay. And that's sort of weird. Okay. It's super close. 3:33. It should stop though, I guess. It ticks me off when I'm like right there and then this is actually clearing everything. Clearing selection. Rooms to select. Because we're not putting anything into rooms to add, so we need to put stuff into rooms to add. Okay. Do this. We'll do it like I had it earlier. If not and not. Not. Clear it. Otherwise we add it. Okay, so that means okay. Then And then what we do in here, down here, is we add rooms to add for ID in rooms to select. For ID in rooms to select. And that should be in an else, right? Okay. I'll do that in just a second. For ID in rooms to select, rooms to add dot append room append ID. That. What did I to add? There we go. Okay. So rooms to add for ID and rooms to select. Rooms to add append ID. Okay. So this should be elif. No, it should be else. Like that. And this should be indented. Okay. So that means if you do shift, okay. So if you're doing shift, it's not going to clear the selection. It's just going to add all the rooms. If you don't do shift, it clears the selection, then adds the rooms. So it should act like it acted. And this ways, now, normal select should work like it always does. Right? Okay. And then I should be able to do shift and shift, right? And if I want to toggle, no, toggle should have toggled. Toggle should have toggled. Why didn't it toggle? Let's see something here. It's because I did. Maybe I should forget the else. So it does. Man, so close. Shift. Control. Should toggle those. Why didn't it toggle those? What am I doing wrong? What's the deal here? We don't clear selection. We don't clear selection. We only want it to toggle with that setup. To add. We wanted to do both. I guess the only way to do it is to duplicate it. At least that's the only way I can see right now without combining it, so that it doesn't. Okay, we'll do this. LF. Right. Escape. Do this. And we're going to do this. And we're going to say LF not. And shift. Okay. And then that's this in here. Then we're going to say where did I put the period in? Wrong. Wait, what? 909 expected. Oh, else if. LF. LF, and then we say else like this. And we don't need to do that. We can just say clear selection. I mean, it's doing the same code, but then we add all of the rooms to ads. So that way, even though these are the same lines or whatever, and I could probably find a way of combining them. Well, I could put it in there if not and not, then clear selection, and I could do an elif like that, I think, or something. We're just gonna do it this way, and if it works, then great, and I'll decide to streamline it later if it works. Okay. Control. I don't get it. Why is the control not working? Not control mod and shift mod. If control mod and not shift mod, then do this. What? This. It should be done by now, but daggone it, I need to get this. Okay, control. Rooms to select. Selected rooms has room ID. It already has it in there, which it does. No, if it doesn't have it in there, all right. 10 entry. Oh, I don't know why I have room entry still in there, but it doesn't really matter though. Um, rooms to okay, so rooms to select are those two rooms. Selected rooms. Okay, so it's not. It shouldn't. it shouldn't append anything to rooms to add. Now rooms to add should be blank, which it is. So if I do F10, just skip that. Okay. Now room ID is going to be the next one, Enchanted Lands. Oh, stop. Stop. Clear selection has got to be clear in selection all the time. Clear selection. All right. So that's got to be the clear selection is going to be every time, right? And then we're going to add the rooms to add. Now this is modifying the rooms to add. So this does a toggle by only adding ones that are not in selected rooms. All right. Okay, let's try this. Just a sec here. Let's try this. Uh, why did it remove all of them? Because clear selection needs to clear. No, that's not right either. All right, fine. We'll just do this again. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, so let's do this again. Okay. So we're just going to check. Okay. So rooms to select here is all four of those, and it's just going to for rooms to add. Okay, so these are all the rooms to add, which is all four of them, which is normal. Okay, debug, continue. Now we're going to do this. And why? Okay. Okay, so rooms to add. 10. Now we have okay. Stop. Try this again. Da da da. F12. Control. Okay, and then we go down to that. Okay. Rooms to select. If not, as ID. What selected rooms have already? Okay, there's something wrong with my toggle logic, I think. Uh, Selected rooms will have all four of these, including the ones that I just controlled to toggle. If it has it, don't append it to rooms to add. It's only two, right? It's only two. We're doing rooms to add, so we're messing with the rooms to add, so I shouldn't select uh selected rooms? That's not right though, is it either? Or is it? It shouldn't matter if it's already in selected rooms. It should only matter if doggone it. Arrgh. This doesn't work. I should say doesn't work right. Rooms to add needs to be initialized before the looks like you're trying to pin without creating it first. Okay, yeah. Uh no, let's do this. Okay. So go ahead and do the I was gonna do the whole thing here, but I'll do the whole thing. Copy. No. This is the whole block. The control not shift section doesn't work as I was hoping. You're pinning rooms that are not already selected to rooms to add, but then immediately after you call clear selection, deselects everything, clears the dictionary. It means even rooms that were previously selected are wiped out before you have a chance to leave them alone or toggle them. No, because clear selection does not remove clear room to add. Clear selection does not remove rooms to add or rooms to select. Only selected rooms. I'm trying to generate a new list of uh, of IDs that consists of what exists uh, rooms to add consists of things that were left over by checking selected rooms and seeing if the selected IDs are already in there. And if they are, then I don't add that to rooms to add. But I only add ones. Oh. Hmm. Um, Control mod, not shift mod. So we have, okay, so we have 4 rooms to select. Okay, it goes in, it selects the rooms. I haven't cleared the selection yet, though. This is the point. The point is, it's not clearing the selected rooms. The point is that room IDs and room to select. So it's going to go in there. It's going to say I'm not doing an actual toggle here. That's my problem. Currently, you're only checking if the room's not in selected rooms, not depending. That means you're never explicitly handling the case where the room is already selected, in which case you want to deselect. So the control only, you actually need 2 branches inside your loop, rooms over rooms to select. If a room already exists in selected rooms, remove it from the dictionary and toggle its is selected flag. If a room does not exist, add it to the rooms to add to be selected afterward. That way, rooms to add will only. I don't want to modify selected rooms until the list is compiled. But really, that means I need to loop through each selected room, then check it against the rooms to add, no, rooms to select list. Okay. So if the ID is in the rooms to select list, then is in the rooms to select list. The ID is in the rooms to select list, then I don't add it. But if it's not in the rooms to select list, I do add that. So that way it toggles. I got my loops switched through. Okay, so that's my error. That's my error. Okay, so this is what we want to do. We want to do a new loop for room ID in. Selected rooms.keys. I need to, I guess, take that off though. It is unfortunate, but that's okay. That's the way that works. Doggone it. Quit doing that. Okay. So. If room ID rooms to select means I have to loop through all the rooms to select IDs. If the room is already selected, you don't want to add it to the rooms add. It's going to be toggled off. Not already selected, append to rooms add. Loop through. Select the room's ID is not in rooms to select. If it's in rooms to select, it's the one to deselect, so you can toggle it as selected. That rooms to add will only contain the newly selected rooms. You can safely iterate through it. Okay. For room ID and rooms to select, let's take room entry off of there because I don't use that. If not selected rooms has room ID, rooms to add append room ID. Uh, I might have to do this like another kind of brute force deal, which is Um, I guess I should continue this tomorrow because my brain doesn't want to do it, and I have to rethink through it and stuff. So I got to take a mind break. So I guess we'll have to wait till tomorrow to be able to see if I can get this working properly. Ridiculous, but that's the way that goes. Okay, so I want to say thank you for watching part two, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching part two.